Hi, Mark from Whole Latte Love. We got Morgan behind the camera.
Hey everyone.
So today we're going to take a look at a range of super automatic espresso machines, and representing that range we have a lower end model from Gaggia, the Brera, and then we have like a top of the line one-touch super automatic also from Gaggia, the Accademia. So a big difference in how you use these machines. So on the Brera, if you're going to work with milk to make cappuccinos and lattes, you're going to do a pitcher, you're going to use a wand here to froth the milk yourself. Over on the Accademia, it's considered a one-touch machine. That means I can take my milk in a carafe out of the refrigerator, connect it to the machine, place my cup under, put the spout over. Now I'm ready to just press a button and make a latte. And so I'm going to have a machine do that right now. Well, we talked about some of the other features here. So it's grinding the beans and it's going to do it, but I don't have to do a thing. So over here, typically what I would do is take my glass and I'd have it brew my espresso. So I've already preset an espresso here. These are programmable buttons, by the way. So it's going to do the espresso. Now you can see that obviously the Brera is a lot smaller. The Gaggia takes up a lot more space, the Accademia here. One thing to be a little careful of with a machine like this is the height, because you're going to have usually overhanging cabinets of about 18 inches. So the Brera itself, or the Accademia, excuse me, is just a little over 15 inches. What you want to be careful of is we access the water reservoir here and the bean hopper here, that when these are up, we're actually going to be up to over 19 inches, or just about 19 inches. So if you've got 18-inch cabinets, it may be difficult to get in there. Now you can see the machine has made a nice milk froth for us. And now it's going to go ahead and do the espresso. And again, I'm not doing anything. Over here, we have our shot of espresso done. Now we're going to steam some milk. So I'm going to use the knob here to turn over to steam. I'm going to purge any water out of the steam system. So it just takes a lot more user work here to get a drink out of this machine. So it's purged water. I'm going to go back momentarily, but as we do that, look over here. So now our espresso is going into our cup, and that's almost done. And I'm going to show you something really neat with this machine when that drink is done. But let's go back. We'll steam our milk over here. So I'm going to put my 12-ounce pitcher filled to just under where the spout separates. Turn on my steam. Now this is an auto frothing wand. It automatically injects air into the milk. If I keep it below the surface area like I should. So it's injecting the air and it's heating it at the same time. While I'm doing this, you can see our latte macchiato is done over here.
Yeah, looks good.
Right?
Nice layering.
Now I'm keeping the steam here. We're getting not totally close. So we'll take that drink off there. One thing I really like with this, push this over and watch what happens. It's going to automatically clean out the entire milk circuit. Now no milk ever goes inside the machine. And watch how it's putting steam down through here. You can see the steam coming up through the bottom there. So that just cleaned that all out. Okay, our milk's done over here. It's up to the temperature I like, about 140 degrees. And then next we're going to wipe down our wand. We've got to keep these wands clean and blow a little bit more steam through to clean out any excess milk so that stays clean. So now let's just talk about this before I pour over here. So you can just take this right back into the refrigerator and you're ready to go tomorrow or later in the day or when a friend stops by. So for our latte over here, I take my pitcher, give it some taps and swirls just to get the consistency consistent through the milk here.
Any air bubbles out there.
Yep. And we'll pour our latte. And Morgan, I know you like a little foam on top of yours.
I do.
So we gave you that one.
All right, I'll have that later. Thank you.
So that's kind of the difference. Touch a button over here and you're going to give, a couple minutes of your time here to make a drink like that.
And there are 7 dedicated drink buttons on the Accademia as opposed to just the espresso and long coffee on the Gaggia Brera.
Right, so let's take a look at those. And the menu. It's got a pretty deep menu. Oh, it's telling me right now that I need to empty my drip tray and my coffee grounds drawer. So we get a real, English display. It also does other languages too, of what needs to be done with the machine. So why don't we do that before we take a look at more things. So to do that, we're going to open open the door of the machine, and then you can do that with this attached, doesn't care. Then inside our coffee grounds drawer and drip tray are right here. So our drip tray, you can see it's got a little water in there. So I'm just going to run across here and empty that out. And then we put that back in, and we're ready to go. Also inside you can see the brew group. This is your little barista inside the machine. So the coffee drops into here, it gets compacted by this, and that makes your espresso. About once a week you'll take that out, rinse it at the sink. The Brera uses a very similar device to that.
Yep, they both have the removable brew groups to be
Yep.
rinsed out.
So that's all done. So yeah, let's take a look at some of it. So we've got espresso, cafe, a long coffee. And over the other side, a cappuccino, latte, macchiato. We can do just hot milk. We can access some of the cleaning functions. I like this little guy that hangs magnetically
Magnetic,
on,
yeah.
so you don't lose it. It goes right on the side. So let's just take a quick look into the menus. Now, any of these buttons here can be programmed using a press and hold method, which is pretty common to most of these types of machines, where you just press a button and hold it down, and you'll get an indication in the display. Usually it's memo. And then once you get the amount that you want in your cup, you press it again and it'll store that amount. Now, alternately, if you like to go into menus, you can do the same thing here, so you can go in an espresso and you can tell it how long you want it. But I want to take a look at the latte macchiato, because this machine does something that not a lot of even the higher end super automatics do. So we go into latte macchiato, you can see you can program the amount of coffees, that's kind of the strength. Pre-brewing, which is also known as pre-infusion, which wets the coffee before the full pressure brewing. You can choose from 3 coffee temperatures, set the amount of coffee you want, the amount of milk you want, and the thing I really want to look at is the milk foam here. So if we go down here and select that, we can vary the density of the milk foam. And that's something, usually on most machines you're just going to get one type. So if you like just a little for a latte, you can set it that way. If you like a lot for a cappuccino, if you like it really foamy, you can set it that way. And then a lot of other functions on the machine. So in here is where you program, and even you can program amounts of milk and hot water if you're using the same amount every time. If we go into the settings, we can change lots of things here.
You can do up to 3 turn-on times.
Yes.
You have your machine ready for you in the morning.
Under calendar settings, yes. So you can go, I want it to power on at a certain time. You have 3 different times you can set for it to power on. And then kind of in conjunction with that, you can set times for it to go to standby. So you can have it turn off from 15 minutes to basically 3 hours, 180 minutes later, which is really handy. So it can be on, ready to go for you when you wake up in the morning, and then shut off automatically, so you don't have to worry about, did I leave the coffee pot on? So, some other really nice things about this machine. It's got the manual frothing wand if you want to do that. I really like the spouts here. They come down a long way if you're doing an espresso, so your espresso isn't, like falling all over the place. And it also, you can push this back and you can fit, a big travel mug on it. So if
You got 6.5 inches of clearance there, so that's pretty nice.
and then also up front here, another setting to your coffee. It's got a flow restrictor. So if you're doing, and it's kind of hard to see the little dots on here, but you turn this down, and if you're doing a longer coffee, maybe you want the water to come through a little faster. If you're doing espresso, you want to restrict it a little bit. It'll come through slower, so you get more aroma, more flavor, and you set that by what you're doing. Also up top on this machine, we have an active cup warmer. It's passive over on the Brera. This is active, so there's a heating element under here. It gets nice and warm to keep your cups warm. We also have a bypass toaster on this machine as well, where you can do the decaf or other pre-ground coffee. Take a quick look at the water tank, which you can fill right at the machine. A lot of people will put these next to the sink and just come over with a hose and fill it with a hose from the sink, or you can remove it and take it out and fill it up. You can also put a water filter in here, which we do recommend. We don't have one in right now. Then over on the other side, the bean hopper. Very nice. So you can adjust the grind setting here for the beans. Then your beans would go in.
Got 7 settings on that.
7 settings. Now, one thing I like about this, it's got a really nice tight seal. Keep your beans fresh inside there. We usually say don't store your beans in the machine. This one with that seal, it's going to keep them nice and fresh. So to sum it up, I mean, that's just kind of the, the lower end of a super automatic and the higher end. It's really nice to just have a machine come on for you, put your milk carafe on, push a button, and you've got your latte, in a couple minutes. You'll walk away, automatically turns itself off. You gotta like the carafe and the automatic cleaning where it keeps itself really nice and clean. So again, that's the Gaggia Brera and the Gaggia Accademia. Morgan, where do we get them?
You can get them both at wholelattelove.com.
All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Hey, why not subscribe now for easy free access to more videos on everything coffee, brought to you by wholelattelove.com.
Hi, Mark from Whole Latte Love. We got Morgan behind the camera.
Hey, everyone.
So today we're going to take a look at a range of super automatic espresso machines, and representing that range we have a lower end model from Gaggia, the Brera, and then we have like a top of the line one-touch super automatic also from Gaggia, the Accademia. So a big difference in how you use these machines. So on the Brera, if you're going to work with milk to make cappuccinos and lattes, you're going to do a pitcher, you're going to use a wand here to froth the milk yourself. Over on the Accademia, it's considered a one-touch machine. That means I can take my milk in a carafe out of the refrigerator, connect it to the machine, place my cup under, put the spout over. Now I'm ready to just press a button and make a latte. And so I'm going to have a machine do that right now. Well, we talked about some of the other features here. So it's grinding the beans and it's going to do it, but I don't have to do a thing. So over here, typically what I would do is take my glass and I'd have it brew my